In this video I will show you how to migrate individual pieces of landscape from a global map. In this case, I will migrate from the 4th version of the engine. Migrate is mandatory in any case as it eliminates errors when building the map. First thing they migrate. With the start of the game. Loading. Migrate is done in any case to eliminate errors. You can migrate the entire folder at once. You can also migrate individually selected levels. You show what commands need to be done. I have already migrated this level so as not to take up video time. Create a master project like I did. What we need in this Migrate folder. Before you do this, create a template. For example, first-person view or third-person view. In this case I have an empty template. That is, just fly the camera. Confirm the folder selection and the level migration will occur. Next step, we can migrate the entire folder under. For example, this entire level. For example, you or whose levels are in this folder. After that, you need to open the 5th version of the engine. Another note. If he asks for confirmation of file replacement, agree yes to all. Now I'll show you how it works. I'm launching the 5th version of the engine. In this folder you can see 2 projects that which were linked to that map are a pack of buildings and a pack of roads. You can see these folders that were the next stage is to configure the parameters in the engine, which I already have configured, but I will show them sequentially. Be sure to enable this checkbox if it is not enabled. The next stage is opening the map. Find the Windows Levels tab. And loads which we migrated. Levels are loading. Be sure to rebuild all levels. Resave levels. Be sure to resave all levels. This is also important since Migrate was made from the 4th version of the engine. Also, an important point is to replace the lighting from the 4th version of the engine, which I had as standard, with lighting from the 5th version of the engine. For this you can use standard lighting from Unreal. To do this, simply copy everything to all these parameters. And add and replace with lighting on this map. I already have lighting added, so I'm just showing. The next stage is Project Build Settings. I show you what needs to be done. For example, set build configuration no shipping. In the platform settings, we set Windows or the platform that you need. In this case, I'll leave Windows on it and I'll test it. Uncheck the boxes for those platforms that you do not need. I recommend unchecking them. If you use Windows, leave only this box. The next step is to start the build. The first time it will take a long time. The next time the cache is created, it will be faster. I migrated the levels that I was asked to do, and I show the levels that I chose for migration from the 4th version of the engine. Now I will show them. I show those levels that I migrated as the selected ones that I needed. I could also migrate the entire folder with this piece of landscape, for example level SE sauce eats landscape. In this case, I migrated only under the levels from this large piece. I've already made the build. Now I'll show you what it is. I will show that it works correctly without errors. As you can see, the message that word composition is not outdated did not affect the project build in any way. Now I'll do the build again. The second time it is done faster since the cache has already been created. You can see this by looking at the volume of the save folder where the cache was saved during the first build of the project. Since it will go faster now, I'll do it. Show specifically how to do the build and what settings need to be completed. Now I'll show you first of all. Project settings. Let's choose in this. Selecting the main card. Select the main level. Showing where it is. The next stage begins build. Click Continue. The build starts. You need to wait a little. Red messages may appear, but if they are not very significant, then the build will be without errors and it will be completed. A build error is critical if the build is simply not created. The composition of the world actually works correctly in this case, and that message on this version of the 544 engine works correctly, as you can see in the launch of the build. Next stage, as you can see, passed successfully. I'm checking. Levels are loaded, no errors. Now I'll try to move the tiles and make a build. Let's say you want to place them in a different order or move them to the middle of the level. Middle of the world map to the center of the world map. I haven't done this yet, but at the moment I'll check how it will affect the build. The tiles are loading and I will move them. For the test, I'll also check the arrangement in a different order. Arrange in different order. And place them a little further from the main levels. I'll switch places. Resave. Deleting old project. I'm doing a rebuild. If everything goes well, this means that you can change tiles in different places, delete and immigrate only those that you need. In this case, I moved all the tiles so that they were in the center of the world. Now I'll see how this will affect the build, but I don't know which ones can cause this. Problems and errors since I didn't do this and I didn't find this in the instructions. But if Dennis nailed down the errors, then theoretically it works. In this way, using my large map, you can make absolutely any unselected pieces of tiles to create your games. That is, you can use the entire large map or use only the pieces you need. Now I'll check this build. I forgot to say that you need to place the start player on the map. In this case, I forgot to move it, so I'll interrupt it. Resave levels again. I positioned the start player so that it does not start from the old point A as the base and redo the build. We need to wait a little and now the map is located in the center of the world, that is, at the 0 points. You can see that the level is not connected. I did this for a test. I also swapped 2 tiles. Which are located outside of these 2 pieces. Ready and starting test. I'm looking at the direction where the traffic should be loaded, low. So I need to look a little further away. Sorry for the long viewing. I do it without editing, but as you can see everything works and these levels are loaded and no errors occur or crashes. You can also adjust the drawing of the distance that I made for each piece. You can see where and what settings you made. You can also replace them with your own. Before that, select Assign Layer. To reset the rendering setting, click on Category It. Uncategorized. Save the level and add another setting. This video concludes. I showed how to work with the world composition setting. Sorry if the video turned out to be long, but I am making it without editing at the request of those who bought the product. Thanks for watching.